Pickup Lines is presented by Gamez Law Firm. Personal injury guidance for more than 50 years. Gamez Law fights. By Integrity Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated for more than 40 years, serving the San Antonio area for roofing, siding, and renovation needs. And by the Sabinal Group. For nearly 20 years, serving the San Antonio region through professional minority general contracting services. Pickup Lines is broadcast from inside the all-electric Lexus RZ 450E, courtesy of North Park Lexus at Dominion and North Park Lexus of San Antonio. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful day in San Antonio, Texas, and this is Pickup Lines, the only talk show that I know of in a Lexus, and I am literally blessed today to be joined by this man, a longtime friend of mine, who just so happens to be the Archbishop of the Diocese of San Antonio, Archbishop Gustavo Garcia-Siller. So great to see you, sir.
Thank you, Rudy.
Happy holidays, or I guess in this case, happy season of Advent, correct?
Advent, correct.
So we're in the...
We are not yet at Christmas.
Correct.
Right.
Technically speaking, this is the third week of Advent.
The third week of Advent, correct.
You remember the Advent wreath and everything. I want to make sure. I was raised Catholic, so I want to make sure that I represent and do well and everything. It's nice to see you. This is a very busy time of year for you, I would imagine.
You're right.
So thank you for squeezing this in today. I appreciate that.
It's a blessing.
You have a birthday coming up, don't you?
Yes, the 21st.
On the 21st. Do you have
21st of December.
So, what is that, a week from... What is... Today's the... What did we... Today? Today's the...
Saturday?
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Yeah, the week from Saturday.
Okay, I should have gotten my calendar straight here. But nonetheless... how excited do you get when your birthday comes
Saturday.
around? Yes, it's coming up this Saturday.
You're right.
Because Christmas is already next week.
That's right.
I think it's because of the weather. It's like, what is it? It's 81 degrees outside, and it does not feel like Christmas right now.
No, it's so humid.
But do you look forward to your birthday every year when it comes around, or do you know what you're going to do yet?
No, I don't know, but it would be a good day.
Okay.
A very good day.
Amen to that. Amen to that. We have a lot to get to here with our time with the Archbishop, so let's just go back. He brought a couple of really cool pictures, which we'll show in just a little while. The stories you must have are pretty amazing. But I got to go back to when you were like a kindergartner. You were 5 or 6 years old when you decided, or you had the first inclination that you wanted to ultimately become a priest.
Yes.
Which is kindergarten age. And I'm just wondering, how did you know... And I have a photo here, because is this your first communion right here? Correct.
That is my first communion.
You're 6 years old here.
6 years old.
In Mexico.
In Mexico, in San Luis Potosi, Mexico.
And by the way, the Archbishop is the oldest of 15 children.
Correct.
So at this age, at 6, you had your inkling that you wanted to be a priest. How did you know?
Well, the story will be short.
Okay.
Just that a year before my first communion, and I expressed my desire to receive communion.
Right.
My mother and my father said, well, who will be your sponsor? So I said, my sponsor, I would like to be my tío Clodo. Okay, well, ask him. He eventually became a priest, and so he told me, I will pick you up every day. This is a year before.
Year before?
I was 5. I will take you every day to Mass at 5:45 for 6 o'clock Mass in the morning.
5:45 in the morning.
And so in a way it was a little bit hard, but at the same time it was great because I was the only one that I was able to get out of the house at that hour.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and I mean, obviously you're the oldest of, so the house got more and more full as the years went by, because again, he's the oldest of 15 children.
But the reason why I was thinking about the priesthood then was because he said, I want you to know who you are going to receive.
I see.
So all this year was a preparation for my first communion, and eventually that day I said I want to become a priest.
So you basically spent a year going to Mass basically every day in preparation, because your uncle said, this is what we're going to do.
And this is what you need to know.
Wow. And the rest is history.
That's right.
Did your parents have a furniture store?
Correct.
And you grew up after you were preparing for all of this, but you were sweeping floors and helping to maintain your parents'
Because
furniture store.
I was a child, all in my teen years.
Right.
Eventually, I was delivering furniture, or also working on collecting money.
The payments and everything.
Payments,
you had to collect
sure.
payments and everything.
Collector.
So you're delivering furniture throughout, like in San Luis Potosi, which is geographically it's like in the center of Mexico, right?
It's in the center of Mexico.
So you're just delivering.
And the number of people in San Luis is pretty much the same population as San Antonio.
Really?
But it's not spread out.
No. It's much more dense.
It's more dense.
Yes,
correct.
yes. Okay. So what kind of furniture? I mean, you're just like tables and chairs and.
Well, my father started making the furniture, but then eventually he was buying the furniture from companies
Right.
in Mexico, and he was selling them. And he still have the business. He's now 91. No, he will be 91.
Really?
And he still has the business. And we'll see.
But was
the
there?
business is there.
But being the oldest son, obviously, was there ever a conversation about, you would take over the company, or you would go into the furniture business?
That was his idea. That was his idea, and
Right.
I was okay. I loved to do the work that he
Right.
did there, And it was always, after a year was something different. 2 years was something else.
Right.
So it was a great opportunity.
Yeah. But ultimately, you decided not.
And the whole family lived out of that furniture store.
Was it a poor family, or I mean, was it a struggle?
It was, I would say, low income family for my first 10 years. And then it was better.
Then it got better.
And they are doing okay. Thanks be to that.
Yeah, amen to that. You talked about, so you're a teenager now, but you had still had this in the back of your head that you wanted to be a priest. But I know you talked about how you had a girlfriend when you were
Yes.
a teenager.
Well, because I continue contemplating that.
You weren't sure, but you.
But then, no, I wanted to become a priest. But also I feel attracted to a beautiful girl that earlier today somebody mentioned her name to me. And that she was an ingredient to me. So that's very nice. So
Yes.
we keep in touch,
Yes.
And but in the context of trying to become a priest, it was this relationship, and it was beautiful. A couple of years.
Right. But then you ultimately decided that
Yeah.
it wasn't going to happen,
Right. And we say, that's it. If we're not going to pursue something else
Right.
For marriage, yeah, that's fine.
And you've obviously never had second thoughts about that, or have you
No.
ever thought about, because you talked about how you would have been, you believe you could have been a really great husband, you probably could have been a
Right.
great father,
Yeah.
but you've never
And good for business too.
run a business,
Right.
a furniture
Right.
store.
All the business,
Right, right.
In a career, I wanted to be an architect.
Yes,
If I was studying a career,
right.
and I love design, and I love that part has been always with me, and I have been able to utilize it,
Right.
Because I was able to direct when we built a house in Mount Angel, Oregon,
Yeah.
for 30 people,
Okay.
and to design the house and the whole thing, and I did it. And it's there.
Pretty good. I didn't know you had that skill set
Yeah,
as well.
I
So,
love it.
Very
But
good.
it was from my father, because my father has to design the furniture.
Yeah.
And design the settings for the living rooms and the dining rooms.
Everything's got to be precise,
So,
and
right,
the measurements.
good, and
Yeah.
the colors, and so I love it.
So if something breaks down here at the residence or whatever, are you a pretty handy guy with tools and everything?
Well, handy guy, that's a different story. I was going to be the manager.
You're not the superintendent here.
Yeah.
You don't have to repair everything.
No. But about the concept, the vision, yes.
Yes. Very good. Okay.
So that has helped me in my vocation.
That's
as
awesome.
priest and bishop.
So you pursue your passion to become a priest, and then we get into I guess it's the 1970s or a little bit later on, and
Yeah, that was.
who's this guy?
That's the 1970s, And it's when I took my vow. Yeah, I had already vows there.
Can I just ask you about the hairstyle and everything? 'Cause,
Hairstyle, well, it's that time.
Wow.
Well,
I mean, I'm not. I like it, by the way. I'm being complimentary. I'm not.
I don't know when you were born, but I mean,
76.
you see, I was born in 56,
Okay.
20 years earlier. So I was right on at that time.
This is what. How old are you here?
There I was 18.
Okay.
18.
No, I mean.
And I had already vows. And I was living in Guadalajara,
Right.
Jalisco,
Yeah.
Mexico.
Do you remember this day?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you remember this picture
Oh,
being
yeah.
taken and everything? And
I was going, when I have that bag, a little bag here.
yeah, because you're holding
I was
a bag.
going to serve in a barrio, very poor barrio,
Yeah.
in top of the hill, very poor. And it was buses and walking. And so you go with your little
You just carry whatever you can put in the bag.
bag.
Is what's
Correct,
going.
in the bag. Yeah.
Okay, so then you become ordained. By the way, this is the 40th anniversary
My
of your
40th
ordination in June this year.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah. The
Congratulations.
40th, thank you. The 40th anniversary of priesthood.
It was June 22nd, 1984. You were ordained. What do you remember from that day?
From that day, well, the support of the priests, there was a lot of priests who went to that celebration. There was about 22, 25,
Right.
100 people. And that during the Mass, it became one of those famous storms of Guadalajara. And the reception was all flooded. I mean, it was a chaos. But sometimes we need a chaos to build up something else, you know.
Well, you remember it. You remember that
I
day,
remember
right?
it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It was in Guadalajara, in el Templo del Expiatorio. It's
Okay.
a beautiful Gothic church that took about 100 years to be built.
Well, yeah.
We
I mean,
finished.
the architecture and everything. I mean, it's
But
fabulous.
it was
honestly.
Gothic church. Gothic.
Yeah, no, beautiful. Okay, so you become a priest, and I think people who know about the priesthood know that you bounce around different parishes, different parts of the country, different parts of the world. You have little to no control over where you ultimately end up, correct?
That's right.
Right, so you ended up, did you go to California? Or where
Yes,
did you
well,
go?
I always studied French. 9 years French. And I thought I was going to be sent to a place that they speak French outside Mexico. But they told me, you're assigned to California.
So you went to California.
North of Los Angeles.
Right. And you were there how long?
Between Santa Barbara and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I was there like for 4 years.
Okay.
Well, 4 years, and then as a priest, I was in Fresno, that is close to Yosemite.
Fresno, California.
California.
Yeah.
Fresno, California.
Yeah.
In a parish.
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit because we get to, I read in 2003, you get a call from the Vatican.
Correct.
Pope John Paul. His people say Gustavo, they would like you to be the auxiliary bishop in Chicago. And I've never heard this happen before, but you said no.
No, I was going to say no.
You were going to say no. I didn't know you had that choice.
Well, I didn't know either. but I felt like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is going on, you know.
You didn't want to do it.
No, I felt very strange in that phone call.
Okay.
And so
Let's stop you
Yeah.
there. How does that happen, by the way? Like, I'm assuming Pope John Paul is not on the other line, but how does that happen? Where
it's through the nunciature,
okay,
the apostolic the nuncio,
right?
the apostolic nunciature in Washington D.C.
Okay, so you get a call, and when you get that call, you know what's coming, right? Like
No.
an assignment or something.
No.
You don't know.
No, at that time I was not aware even who was the apostolic nuncio.
I see.
For the
Okay.
U.S. You know, because I was not dealing with all situations proper to the nunciature.
Correct.
I was in an order, the missionaries of the Holy Spirit, and I joined just to be a missionary.
And you had a relationship with Pope John Paul II.
Yes.
This is obviously late in his life.
That's correct.
But
I met him in his first trip outside Italy. That was to Mexico. The first trip that he did outside Italy.
As Pope.
As Pope.
In the 70s.
In
then.
79.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is where I met him. I met him several times in that trip. And then many times because he was in the in that position as
Right.
Pope for many years.
So you were familiar with each other
Oh,
for most
well,
of his papacy.
more than, yes, I was very familiar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how familiar he was
Right.
with me. But
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
with my history and my process, but he's the one who approved it.
I see. I see. And so you ultimately you did go to Chicago, and you were
Yes.
there,
With
and
Cardinal George,
right.
Cardinal George, Francis George, and then I was ordained with another two bishops. Both were from Chicago, but one was with Irish background and the other one was Polish.
Did you
And I
think?
was from Mexico, and
Right.
immigrant.
Did you think you were going to be there a long time?
Well, I thought that
Chicago?
I was going to end there.
That was it. You were
Because
going
the
to be
three
your
of
last
us, we took the three places of three retired bishops.
Right.
So I thought, well, this is
it.
the way it is.
That's it.
fine.
This is how it's going to end. But so you're in Chicago,
For
far
almost 8 years.
far cry from San Luis Potosi.
And very different than California. Oh my
And
goodness.
well, cold.
They're cold.
That's what I think about, just the cold.
Well, it was the wind.
Windy city, yeah.
Very, very, very cold, but also very windy politically. So,
then there's that. Then there's
so
that.
that was good. That was very good experience. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. And
loved
so
it.
you thought you were going to hang out there, but not so fast. So in 2010, the phone rings again. And what do you remember about that day? You were appointed October 14th, 2010 to come to San Antonio. What do you remember about that phone call and that day?
Well, what I remember is that, I was already familiar more with the stories about how they call bishops.
Right.
And so it was very strange, because usually you go first to become an ordinary bishop,
Right.
to be sent to an archdiocese.
Right.
And I was auxiliary bishop. But I remember very well that it was not a phone call.
Really?
And I'm going to tell you what it was. No.
Wait a minute. What?
It was the cardinal told me. He said, you had been appointed
Oh, wow.
but by Benedict the 16th.
Pope Benedict, yes.
Pope Benedict. You're appointed Archbishop of San Antonio. And even I was thinking, what is San Antonio?
You had never been here before.
I stopped here one night on the way to Mexico,
Okay.
but then I was in the hotel
Yeah,
just to transfer.
I got it.
But no, I didn't know.
But and
And it has been wonderful.
yes.
Wonderful.
Now let me ask you this: you've been here now 14 years.
14 years.
Is it safe to say that you can stay here as long as you want, or is there a chance that you could get another call?
Well, it's whatever the Pope wants. Now it's Francis, and where will be the next one?
Okay.
And if I'm still alive, well, whatever they want.
Okay.
We depend directly from the Pope.
So the next up for you, if you were to be promoted, if you will, would be a cardinal, correct? Is that, or what's the
Well,
next level in line for you?
Well, it's not level.
Or
The main gift
yes,
for the church, for
yeah,
service, is to be a bishop. Because then you are in the line of the apostles.
okay,
So there is no more than that.
I see.
The other ones, like even here, to be archbishop, is because this place, San Antonio,
right,
has another 7 dioceses
yes.
that configure the province.
Yeah, I
And
tell
so
people
that's the only reason that is archdiocese.
because you have 2 auxiliary bishops,
Two auxiliary
correct?
bishops.
Because I tell people, I don't think people realize how much real estate. Like the Archdiocese of San Antonio is a lot. It's a wide
It's from
space.
Gonzales
Yes,
to Del Rio.
Del Rio. Yeah,
And from Rock Springs, Fredericksburg, to Dilley and the south,
yeah.
with the border with Laredo Diocese.
Okay, so
And
sometimes
before,
Yeah.
it was part of Laredo was San
see.
Antonio, and part of Victoria was part of San Antonio.
my hometown.
Oh, that's your hometown.
But yes, is it Bishop? Is it Brendan Cahill? Is
Cahill.
He's the
He
bishop.
is the bishop in
so
Victoria.
I grew up in Victoria. So
Wow, great.
With Bishop Charles Grom. See, I was an altar server when I was in the 4th grade, and I remember Bishop Charles Gromman and some
That's
other
right.
bishops.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm losing his name right now, but another great bishop who was there in Victoria before Bishop Cahill. But nonetheless, yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of great memories there.
Right.
Growing up.
Beautiful.
I wanted to ask you about. I want to promote the Khaki and Plaid Gala because I'm happy to say that I'm going to be emceeing this, and I want people to mark their calendars because this is a big event for the Archdiocese and for Hope for the Future, which helps to promote Catholic school education and everything and scholarships. I'm a product of Catholic school education, by the way. On Saturday, February the 1st at the Whitty Museum. I was there last year. I didn't get to MC it last year, but it's always a beautiful event.
That's right.
And really you have a lot of fun there as well.
Yes, you're right. And it's, the intention is how we can continue passing on the faith, the formation and education, not just education, but formation. That is to help the person to be more holistic,
right?
You know, and appreciate more life as a whole. You know?
Yeah. No, so just I want people to mark the date, Saturday, February 1st at the Whitty Museum. There are tickets or tables available if you'd like to join us. We will, God willing, we will be there that night, and we will raise a lot of money for young people in our area. And
so those are children, all children.
Yes. Yeah. No, I very much looking forward to that and happy to be a part of that event. A few more minutes here with Archbishop Gustavo Garcia-Siller. You have, again, a very busy next couple of weeks for sure with Christmas coming, the Advent season. I know we were talking about on Thursday of this week, you're going to preside over the services for the now late Rosemary Kowalski, who we lost a few days ago at the age of 100. And what an icon, what an amazing person she was. And she's missed by so many people, but you will be presiding over that this week.
Yes, I will have the funeral that will be in the Tomin Center. And it will be Thursday afternoon. And, I took the Archdiocese on November 23rd. And it was Tuesday of Thanksgiving week.
Right.
And I didn't have any place to go for Thanksgiving because I didn't know people here.
Okay.
And so on Wednesday, somebody told me, where are you going to be for Thanksgiving? I said, I don't know yet. Oh, if you don't have any place to go to the Gamez.
The Gamez Thanksgiving dinner.
Thanksgiving dinner, correct. And so I found out where it was in the convention center. I went, and I spent all day there. But at when I was coming into the place, Rosemary was there. And since then we became friends.
That's nice.
And so my 14 years here, we were friends.
What an amazing, inspiring person! And just everything that she did, and till the very end. I mean, I just saw her 2-3 weeks ago. She received an award.
That's right.
And when she got out on the stage, and I mean, the people just erupted, and just I don't know. Maybe other than yourself, who is more loved in San Antonio than Rosemary Kowalski? I mean,
she's very loved.
So that's going to be a powerful, emotional service on Thursday. You brought another photo here, but I want you to see before.
Well,
you have a couple of photos here. Actually,
couple of photos. One,
go ahead.
Is when I met. I met Mother Teresa.
I'm going to get the glare off. There she is in the center of the screen.
Mother Teresa 5 times. By that time, was in California, that particular one.
Right.
And I was edified by her integrity and dedication for the poor, for those most vulnerable. Beautiful, beautiful individual. As you can see, she was a short woman.
Yes.
Very short. Dedicated. She founded the Sisters of Charity.
Right.
Men and women. And they're dedicated for the poor.
And she's a saint.
And she's a saint.
She is now a
saint.
So
I can say that I have met in life 2 saints in my life.
Well,
personally,
Pope John Paul, or
Saint
John Paul,
and Saint
Teresa of Calcutta.
Correct.
So you used to saying Mother Teresa, but it's
Mother Teresa.
Saint
Mother Teresa.
Okay.
So otherwise people don't know which Teresa. Because there are other saints.
That's fascinating. So you've had the opportunity as well to meet Pope John Paul II, Pope Benedict XVI, and of course Pope Francis.
Pope Francis.
And you have a photo here of the two of you together.
That's right.
Let me show this here. And you said this was taken when you actually spent time with him at his residence?
Well, that was the first time that I met him, because every bishop that is appointed needs to go and meet the Pope.
You have to do that.
Well, that's intentional.
You're supposed to.
I'm supposed to, yeah.
Okay.
So I went and I met him. But then since then I had met him several times.
Yeah.
But I had the blessing to be living with him 1 week, that he was not supposed to be in his house. And so I was going to be there with other people. But something happened in his calendar, his schedule, and he arrived, and all that week he was in 3 meals there, and we had the meals together.
Wow.
So it was a beautiful week. You know, you open, the elevator was opening.
Yes.
And suddenly you find the Pope inside the elevator. He said, "Oh, what I say? I don't know what to do." You know?
Sounds awkward encounter in the elevator.
And the Pope will say, calm, don't worry.
Yes.
I'm not that bad.
Yes. How many languages do you speak?
Well, to speak, I learned French, but
English, Spanish, obviously.
English, Spanish.
Okay.
And then I can celebrate masses and sacraments and give a homily in Polish.
Really?
And in Lithuanian, Slovenian, and I'm missing one language. I say French, Spanish.
Okay.
Oh, and also I can say it in Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
Like extemporaneously you can speak that, or you can just read it?
I have to prepare
you read it off, or you
I
prepare
have
the
to
remarks.
prepare it.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna
Sure.
dock you any points for that. That's really impressive.
So, szczęść Boże. That's in Polish. Thank you. God bless
Okay.
you.
My
Szczęść Boże.
brother-in-law is Polish, so
All right.
I gotta.
Szczęść Boże, dziękuję, proszę.
Which
Dziękuję means thank you.
okay. How do I say you're welcome?
Your welcome is dobrze.
Dobrze.
Or dobre.
Dobre.
Dobrze.
Okay, very good. All right, a couple more minutes here with you before we go. Christmas season is here, which is celebrated so passionately in San Antonio with the Catholic population and everything. If you could speak to the camera and just, what is your message, or what would you like people to know about the Christmas season and what it means for you?
Well, the Christmas season is for sure at the center the person of Jesus Christ. And so is his birth. And that is the main focus, that is the love of God for us coming, taking flesh, so that we can know who God is and how to get to connect with God.
Right.
So my wish to the people of San Antonio at this Christmas time is to have hope in these times of uncertainty, even for us, like the weather, it looks very nice, but it's very humid.
Yes.
Very, very different. I think
Yes.
it's a year that has been more humidity since I have been here in San Antonio.
Right.
And so many things are different pieces, different, life moves on and things evolve and change. And many people, they ask themselves, now, where do I fit? What is my place in this world? So to have hope, and if we're created by God, you were created by God. Well, so believe that God will show you the way. If somebody knows
Yes.
what you're supposed to do, is God. And so may God with us this Christmas bring you hope. It's my best wish and thought for you.
Thank you very much. The last thing I'm going to do here is I was asking for forgiveness earlier because I'm literally parked in the Archbishop's parking spot as we speak. And people have been walking out giving me some awkward looks because clearly I'm not the Archbishop.
No, you are not, for sure. And I think people are grateful that you're not.
Yes, no, thank you. I'm just parking.
I don't know what they think about me, but
No.
I can tell you. For sure, you are not the Archbishop.
No, you're good. Your job is
But
safe.
it's true that you are right here in my spot.
I am literally in his spot, so
Well, I will have to forgive you, but
be
this
absolved.
is not going to be the sacrament of confession for
Okay,
sure.
no.
No. But I will give you a penance.
Okay.
I will give you penance. You will give me in all these functions that we go. You will find out how we'll get a free parking spot.
Okay.
Okay?
So a khaki
and
and
if
plaid.
not, and khaki and plaid,
We'll get
February 1st.
Yes. All right.
At
Very
what
good.
time?
It's in the evening, dinner time.
Dinner time, yes.
Yeah, well, I got to be there a little early because I'm going to MC. But
Okay.
listen, Merry Christmas to you, Happy New
Merry
Year, and
Christmas.
everything. Blessings to your family, which I know you have family here in town right now. So thank you for letting me pull you away from them, and all the best to you, sir.
And the seeds of hope be planted.
Pray for me. Rega por mí.
Con mucho gusto.
Thank you, sir.
Dziękuję proszę.
There he is, in whatever language it is, Archbishop Gustavo Garcia-Siller. We'll be back again very soon here on Pickup Lines. Happy holidays to you and your family, and bye for now.